With us right now, Shadow Leader of the House of Commons. He's down on College Green for us. It's not quite as light as it should be, perhaps, Chris, but very good morning to you. Big day. We finally get to see. Good morning. We finally get to see the Labour budget. I mean, it's only taken them what, 3-4 months to put that together. It's a bit late, isn't it?
Well, it is a bit late, but they've obviously leaked a whole load of it already. Yeah. And sadly, I think what it's going to show is enormous tax rises hitting businesses, national insurance likely to go up. And by hitting businesses, it's also going to hit working people because, as the CBI warned today, if you increase taxes on business, it's going to mean they employ fewer people. It means they're going to pay people less, and some businesses may even shut down or move overseas. And I think what it's also going to expose today is that Labour were lying during the election campaign when they said that none of their plans required additional taxes beyond those in the manifesto, and that turns out now to be completely untrue. And in fact, we did warn about this in the election campaign, and Labour in that campaign accused us, the Conservatives, of being liars, but it now turns out that they're the ones that were lying, and the proof is going to be delivered by Rachel Reeves in just a few hours' time, when we're going to see enormous tax increases that are going to damage our country, damage business and damage jobs. Yeah,
funnily enough, I was just watching a clip last night of Rishi Sunak in one of the debates saying, make no mistake, they're going to be putting your taxes up, and how prescient that turned out to be. But the difficulty, I suppose, for you guys is there's not much you can do. I mean, I spoke to a senior Tory not that long ago who said the trouble is we're going to be having to lose votes in Parliament for the next 4 years. Is that kind of where the party is right now?
Well, unfortunately, the reality is we only have 121 MPs and Labour have a big parliamentary majority, so we are going to lose votes, but that's not going to stop us from fighting. We're going to fight every step of the way. For example, we voted against Labour's plans to take winter fuel payment off impoverished pensioners, so we fought that fight. Now, we lost in Parliament because Labour have a majority, but it's not going to stop us fighting. We're going to take the fight to Labour every single day between now and the next election. We're going to hold them to account, and when they batter Britain with high taxes, when they take benefits away from impoverished pensioners, while at the same time Keir Starmer is loading up on freebies, free suits and all the rest of it, we're going to hold them to account for that. They've got a very thin, or they've got lots of MPs, they've got a very thin mandate. They only got 34% of the vote, far less than Tony Blair or David Cameron or Boris Johnson when they won their victories. So although they've got a big parliamentary majority, we are here to fight them, fight for the British people and try and win the next election. Yeah,
he's also incredibly unpopular, Keir Starmer. I mean, he's gone from being a reasonably popular MP and leader when he got in on July the 4th to being now the most unpopular Prime Minister of all time. Incredible. And a lot of questions being asked today, Chris, on the front pages of the newspapers about what the Labour Party and the Labour government knew about the Southport situation, about the killings and about the investigation and what was withheld from the public. Same questions being asked about Yvette Cooper. Robert Jenrick's been very, very outspoken about this. Is there any way to hold him to account in the House today for Prime Minister's questions?
Well, I mean, I don't know what Rishi's going to be asking today, but it is possible he might ask about this, or there might be other ways we can ask the government in Parliament exactly what the government knew and when. We've obviously got to be a little bit careful because they're live criminal proceedings, but it does appear that there was information that it's very likely the government, the Home Secretary, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper, information they knew about but didn't disclose over the summer. And I think we do need them to be honest with the British public and come clean about exactly what they knew and when, and why the public weren't made aware of the background to this case earlier. I think it only came out yesterday afternoon because of some court proceedings that are happening today. So it kind of got forced out by those court proceedings. It wasn't that they volunteered the information.
No, right. And what I don't think anybody wants to see, and I appreciate what you say about live proceedings and all the rest of it, but, we all know the law when it comes to contempt of court, and there's nothing in contempt of court about asking why the politicisation of the CPS is something that's worth investigating, because if the CPS were told not to release information, or if the police were told not to release information, then I think the public needs to know that.
Well, I think we need to know exactly what Keir Starmer and Yvette Cooper knew and when they knew it, so we can make our own judgments about whether they were being honest or not with the British people.
Yes, I think so. And finally, the leadership battle comes to an end eventually. I mean, it's taking even longer than the budget, I'm afraid. A lot of people said you should have done this a little bit sooner. But what are you hoping for on Saturday? Do you mind which one of the two final contenders wins?
Well, I voted for Kemi Badenoch. I've been supporting her the whole way through because I think she's like a genuine and authentic Conservative. She speaks her mind, and I think we could do with a bit more of that in politics. I think she's got real cut-through in terms of getting a message across to the public, which we're going to need in opposition. And I think she's got that sort of X-factor, that kind of charisma, which is important in a leader. And unlike Starmer, who is a negative, pessimistic, miserabilist, constantly talking our country down, I think Kemi is an optimistic person who has a vision for the future. So I hope Kemi wins. But look, I like Rob as well. I get on well with him. We work together in the Home Office. And if Rob does win, obviously I'll give him my full support.
Indeed. Chris, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Chris Philp, Shadow Leader of the House of Commons, with that joker in the background. Why doesn't somebody deport him somewhere? I mean, it would make a lot more sense. At least he's lost his megaphone. Thank goodness for that. I'm not even going to name check him. You know who I'm talking about.